Hi, how are you? My name is Natalia Munoz and I'm an occupational therapy student. And this week I actually had the opportunity to run a group session within my class. Now, why is this important? Well, as occupational therapists, we are trained and we are educated on how to work with clients that have mental health issues. Right now, with COVID 19, everybody has been impacted and life has changed. Um, some of us experience anxiety, others can experience depression because they cannot have direct contact with their family members. Isolation is a big issue. Other people are working more because now they have to work from home. So the purpose of the group was to use a technique to decrease the levels of stress and anxiety caused by COVID. And I had the pleasure to run the activity with one of my classmates, and it was based on breathing techniques. So now I'm just gonna go over a few things, like a debrief on the group activity. So I'm gonna mention the questions and then I'm gonna go over the answers. The first question is how I felt about the activity. I think the activity went well. It's very hard to have a group activity, especially now, again, because of COVID, we can't do it in person. So it was a very different type of group activity. We had to think outside the box, and OTs do that a lot. So we had to create a group activity that had to use audio conference and a video conference at the same time, which was Zoom, so that everybody could participate. But I feel that it went well. Everyone participated. The purpose of the activity was established, and we all did the breathing technique. And I felt that it helps relax when you do it mindfully. So I think it went well. Now, what strategies did we use for this group activity? As I said, I had the opportunity to co-lead the group with a classmate, and I think it's very important to have clear communication. Once you establish the roles of each participant and you understand what is it that is going to happen, then each group member can perform easier. There's no stress, there's no feeling that something's going to go wrong, because you trust your partner, in my case my classmate, and clear communication is very important. We also did a lot of research to make sure that what we were doing, which was a breathing technique, was something that is valid, and it does have evidence that shows that it helps decrease the levels of anxiety. The other thing was that we wanted the activity to be fun, to be not expensive. I mean, you don't need to go and buy anything for this a technique. You can do it on your own. You don't need to have 1 hour of breathing, because I mean, right now it's really hard. Even 2 minutes of a breathing technique can help you a little bit to decrease the levels of anxiety. And very important, when you do a group activity, you don't want to force participation, and that's what our goal was. We asked the participants if they wanted to be part of the activity, which was very helpful. And again, just keep in mind that it's client-centered and it's to improve quality of life. Now, we also saw a YouTube activity, a YouTube video that had a group activity, and it was a group activity with patients that have dementia, and they participated in an adult daycare center. So what they did was a lot of joyful activities. They had music, they danced, they had activities that promote physical endurance and social participation. So some of the similarities between the group on the YouTube video and the group that we ran was that it wasn't forced. All the participants were engaged, and they reported, or they expressed that it was helpful to participate in that group activity. Some of the difference, obviously, now with COVID, we can't do it in person, so they were in a room, they were all together, there was physical contact, they were able to share and do more hands-on activities. In our situation, we did it through Zoom, so it's very limited to be able to physically communicate with the members of the group. But I mean, we have to follow the CDC guidelines, so I think that was a big difference. And also, the participants in the YouTube video were adults with dementia. Our group activity had participants with just a temporary mental health condition which has been impacted by COVID-19. However, it can be used in any stressful in a situation. So yes, the next one is what was challenging about this activity. Well, again, not being able to do a physical activity, trying to put up a session that normally runs with more people, and it's very difficult because I feel that it's important to have that contact with your client, that you can see and you can feel how they're responding to your intervention. So I think that was very challenging, being able to express via a video conference what I was feeling, what was expected, and what the other person was feeling. Facial expression is very meaningful, so yes, that counts, but also body language. And I feel like when everybody's together and you can feed off of other people's enjoyment of the activity, other people feel happy, they laugh, and laughter is contagious, and it is so much different now. But those are CDC guidelines. Now, the last question is, what would I change if I could run this activity again? Well, we chose to use a video to guide the breathing technique. I feel that I would personally lead that activity next time. I would be the one giving the guided techniques, the steps on how to use the breathing technique. Maybe it was lack of confidence, not being 100% sure to do it right at that moment, but with the experience, once I did this activity, I feel that I can and I am capable of running the activity 100%, and not depend so much on technology and media, because again, I am learning, I am being trained, and I know that I can develop those skills to be able to conduct the group activity 100%. So I would just change that part of the group activity we did this week. However, it was a very nice group activity. It was a nice experience, and I learned a lot from it. And I'm just looking forward to be able to do more group activities in the future. Thank you for listening.